In our news bulletin for this evening, Pacific Island Forum Fisheries Agency conducts an institutional strengthening review for Niue fisheries. Upcoming sports fishing competition will be a catalyst to roll out a Safety at Sea campaign. Niue Island Organic Farmers Association elect a new committee for the next 3 years and look into encouraging more youth to take up farming. Whinione Hakupuatua Show Day brings communities together and delivers fun-filled activities. For the past few days, Forum Fisheries Agency personnel have been on island conducting an institutional strengthening review of the Niue Fisheries Division. This is part of the FFA's regional work serving its 17 Pacific Island members to help sustainably manage their fishery resources by providing expertise, technical assistance and other support.
Institutional strengthening is very important to make sure firstly that you have good corporate structure and governance, and Niue seems to have that without any problems, but secondly to maximise the efficiency and maximise the cost effectiveness of your government processes and the outputs. So you have a lot of legislative and national commitments that are obligations under various international treaties, international law, and you need a strong institution to make sure that they're achieved in as an efficient and cost-effective manner as possible. But one of the key areas, I guess, that's standing out now is the lack of information going back to the wider community. We can see that DAF's actually doing a lot of very good work, and they're working reasonably efficiently already. The big problem here is limited resources, particularly in terms of bums on seats, for want of a better word, and we're going to try and come up with some ways that will maximise the effectiveness of those people sitting on the various seats within the department now.
According to Mr. Freeman, FFA have already done 8 institutional reviews in the region, and this review will look at ways to improve efficiency and enables institutions to achieve more with the limited resources available.
What we do is go away, we draw up a report, we make some recommendations. FFA doesn't tell its members what they should do, but we will make recommendations, and it's then up to the government to decide if they want to adopt those recommendations and to what level they want to adopt those recommendations.
The team departed the island today, but a report is expected with recommendations on ways or areas that could be improved. The upcoming Black Heart fishing competition will be a catalyst to roll out a campaign to raise awareness and promote Safety at Sea campaign amongst local fishermen. The sports fishing event organised by Niue Tourism each year now has the support from Niue Fisheries, who have come on board with safety gear as prizes as a lead-up to this event.
We are trying to work in together with Niue Tourism and the Black Heart fishing competition because it involves both sport fishing boats, artisanal fishing boats, as well as the canoe fishermen. So we want to cover everybody in that. It's something that's been in the pipeline for some time. We've had some safety equipment that we've received from SPC, as well as some that the government themselves have put up some resources for. So yeah, we look to kick this off. And it's come off the back of, in recent times, there's been a small spate of incidents and some accidents, both on the boat side as well as the canoe side. So instead of waiting until something happens and we lose somebody, it's a good time now to make a start. As an isolated island, we the responses that we have in terms of search and rescue are limited. To near island we can get to fairly quickly depending on the weather, but in terms of broader search and rescue we have to often wait some time for larger vessels and aircraft to arrive. So yeah, it's good time. It's something that we've had some work done over the years, but it's a good time now to step it up and remind people about the safety aspects of venturing out to sea.
Mr. Pasisi says that some recent accidents or mishaps involving boats and canoe fishermen has prompted the division to increase their efforts to create a safe environment where people take responsibility for their own well-being at sea. Event organizers are looking at ways to encourage local participation in the fishing competition and hope that the prizes will be a draw card.
The prizes that we have here, it's all safety oriented safety gear. It's often gear that we've seen, and I've seen myself, that people are reluctant to invest in. And so as we do safety checks, it's quite obvious. Some people take care and are quite happy to spend money on safety equipment. Others will sort of wing it and try and get by on as little as possible. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're investing in your safety, and particularly for the boats that take people out to sea, that there is a much higher requirement, a more stringent requirement on them for in terms of safety standards and gear that they should be carrying. So, yeah, it's an awareness thing. I hope everybody will join in. There's some fantastic prizes, safety prizes to be won, and you know, we're talking several $1,000s worth of safety equipment. So I'd invite all of them to come. We've spread it out so that it's fair as possible for both the canoes, the small boats, as well as the charter boats will also have something to have a go at. It's timely that we look at the levels of safety requirements, not just for the boats, but potentially also for the canoes. And, you know, we need to have those consultations and those discussions before we can agree to what safety gear, if anything, they might be required to carry. And at the end of the day, it's not to disadvantage anybody. It's actually to advantage people and make it safer for them to venture out to sea, as well as make it easier for people if we have to go and look for any individual boat or canoe, that we have a greater chance of locating them quickly before we lose sight of this little rock.
There are other opportunities and competitions later in the year that they hope to be part of this campaign. In addition, there will be training workshops that will be arranged throughout the year once resources and resource people have been pulled together. Brendan says there needs to be more consultations with the fishermen regarding the necessary safety gear required by boat fishermen and canoe fishermen. The Safety at Sea competition is open to all interested boat and canoe fishermen. Registrations and fees need to be paid before the competition days, and the canoe fishing category competition days are on Friday the 12th, Saturday the 13th, and Monday the 15th of June. The Niue Island Organic Farmers Association has elected a new committee for the next 3 years following a meeting at the Niue Market last Friday. The organization was set up more than 10 years ago by a group of enthusiasts to promote organic farming as an alternative farming method. Former Niafa chairperson Delfravalu Tukiuha highlighted some of the challenges faced by the committee over the past few years with limited resources available. However, he mentioned there were some great achievements and partnerships developed in that time. Mr. Tukiuha thanked all who supported the organization and wished the new committee well in carrying the work forward. Newly elected Chairman Fisa Pingia shared his views or vision forward to continuing the great work to support local farmers and to try and generate interest from young people to take up farming. He said that failure is not an option and that if people work together, objectives can be achieved. The new committee consists of the new Chairman, Fisa Pingia, Vice Chairperson Miriam Talangi, Secretary-Treasurer Alana Tukunil, and committee members Peter Andrew Funaki, Gina Tukiuha, and Ina Vakafi. The first matters on the agenda for the committee is to review the organization's constitution, look to increasing its membership and potential projects to promote organic farming. Crowds gathered to Tuasea on Saturday for the Whinione Hakupotua Annual Show Day. Residents banded together to set up stalls and communities from abroad made the special trip to join in. The formal program started with speeches from representatives from the Village Council, the Village Member of Parliament, and other groups took the opportunity to highlight the achievements of the past year, but also put forward requests to government for further assistance. The show day was officially opened by Premier Toke Talangi. With the formalities out of the way, it was time to partake in the entertainment, where youngsters were busy at the fun corner set up by Solipaya and his Crosspower Niue team. from bicycles, motorbikes, trampolines, furniture and even a playhouse that proved very popular on the day. The village council put together a range of activities suited for all, starting off with a baby show that had some of the youngest members of the community paraded around. The entertainment and dancers had a range of mostly contemporary performances from the youngsters in the village and even a few family groups. One of the most thrilling performances was from the Anapala dance troupe, who performed to a lively number called Beautiful Creatures, and that is exactly how they looked. There were also coconut husking competitions later in the day, and this year also saw the return of the strongman competition that was won by Randy Liuvaye, a very successful show day from Hakupatua for 2015 and looking forward to better things for next year. That concludes our news bulletin for this evening. Do join us again for our next news bulletin.